Hi, I'm Nandini, Tech Tools Dresser in internetwali, and today we're taking a look at the Samsung One UI, which is based on the Android Pie and is a relief from the Samsung experience. This one comes with a bunch of new features and an entirely new user experience. Let's take a look. So I have the Galaxy S9 with me right now. Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus have both received the beta One UI version, and you can test it. You can go to the Samsung members app and be a part of this whole beta experience. Now first let's look at the lock screen. So here what's happening is you have all the notifications right here, the time and the date. The whole lock screen looks much neater over here. If you enter inside, so you'll see that overall the phone looks exactly how it looked in Samsung experience. Now what has changed is if you drop down, this is a more cards format. Everything is more rounded over the edges, like the whole Google experience, Google material design there is. If you drop down in the spotlight center, you'll see all your apps over here, all your shortcuts, which you can of course customize. Then you have an option to set how the grid looks like. You can search all your recent apps or anything from here. And so I've come here. So now when you switch your apps, this is a very iOS like UI over here. You can swipe them up to close them. You can choose to switch to another app. So that's pretty nice. Okay, you can also see some of your recent apps right here, and that's an easy way to switch to those. Now there is also a difference in how these navigation buttons look. They have changed this. This is how you switch your apps. This is how you go to home. Long press to this will activate Google Assistant, and this of course the back button. Now something else that Samsung has done is the way your apps look here. So all of this has been put down, it has been chunked off to slightly on the bottom edge of your device, so everything is so much easier to use with just one hand. The upper part of the screen is basically being used to just show you what the app is. So you just scroll around and it's really simple. The gallery app also looks like this. So I got some very awkward selfies over here, but yeah, so you have your videos, favorites, locations right here. You also have these albums and stories, so very similar to how iOS clubs your pictures together. This is what Samsung's new One UI does too. So now let's take a look at some of the features that come with the One UI. I think one of the most popular ones is the dark mode, which Samsung calls the night mode. If you switch that on, system-wide there is a dark theme that's adopted on the phone. Essentially the idea behind this is that it's easier on your eyes, but of course you and I know we're using this in the day as well. So here everything turns black. It's not just your settings app, contact screen, your dialer, everything is black. The other thing which is very interesting in this is the navigation control. So right now you see that we have these tiny navigation buttons which are different, but there's one really cool thing which I want to show you. So with the One UI, you have the option to use full screen gestures. So instead of this, either you can change the button order, which you can do in many other phones as well, but this full screen gestures is personally something I really like. So now it's the same, your gestures are placed the same, but now you can't really see it. There's a full screen experience, but you just remember. So this is swiping up is the app switch. Swiping in the middle would be home screen, and if you're in the game launcher, swiping on the side would be going back. So that's, I think, one of my favorite features that come with the One UI. The other thing I really want to show you is these notification pop-ups. So see right here, I got a message from one of my colleagues. So what you can do in the One UI is when you tap on the notifications, they all pile up on top of each other. Now I have the option which one I want to see first. So if I tap on the WhatsApp one, so this is movable. You can move it around. You can reduce and increase the opacity of this little pop-up that shows. You can turn it into a full screen or just lock it from here. You can also tap here and send your messages. Now that I've opened the keypad, I should also tell you that this is an adaptive keypad. When you move into the dark theme, this keypad's color changes. Also, with the light environment that you're in, the keypad again adapts the color. For instance, I type back over here. The other thing that I can do is I can see both pop-ups together. So if I want to talk to two people at a time, of course you can open one window in WhatsApp at one time, and then the other would be like basically two different apps you can open parallelly. But I can message here, then go back to this one, and when I'm done, just cross and cross. That's very cool. So the final thing I want to show you right now is the camera app. There's a slight change in its UI as well. Here you'll see that there's a full view you can see with the options on the camera app overlaid over here. So the selective focus, videos, all of this remain the same. But if you see this tiny little green dot, now this is the scene optimizer, which is new to the S9 and S9 Plus. So if you head to the settings, there's an option called scene optimizer, which you can switch on and off. It will essentially just look at the scenery you're pointing a camera at and recognize and then optimize the color and everything accordingly. So those were some of the highlights of the Samsung One UI. I think up till now, if anybody ever held back from buying a Galaxy phone, it was because of the UI, at least in some of the cases. But I think with the One UI, you wouldn't have a lot to complain about. This user experience is much more fluid, more sophisticated, very neat, well aligned, rounded edges, the card-like setup. I think it's really cool. I'm really looking forward to it. Let us know how you liked it. How do you think it is in comparison to the new iOS experience? If you haven't already, subscribe to Tech2's YouTube channel. Keep watching our videos, keep reading our articles. Bye-bye.